like I've talked about this a couple years ago on this channel and then many years ago on my previous channel. What is going on, All-Terrain Nation? That is right, man. Ford has come out, and this is not a surprise. I'm going to say this right off. This is not a surprise. We're going to get into this article from Reuters. But I first want to give an opinion that I think, yes, Ford is trying to separate itself from the dealerships a little bit. And once again, we will get into the article. But I would definitely want your comments below talking about this. But first off, I've had a pretty bad week, and I'm not going to go into why. But if you guys would smash that like button for me today more than any, would greatly appreciate that. It would help me out a lot. So, that's right. So Ford has come in and they are saying, hey, time out on traditional sales. We better take a look at this. So let's jump into this article and we'll go from there. So this comes from Reuters, and as always, I will throw the link to the original article down below. So if you want to check out more of this, but we're pretty much going to go through their piece on this by Paul Leiner and Ben Clayman. And I'm not sure why. All right, so we're going to get into this. This is from Reuters, and it's a trusted news source. I usually trust what they write about, and so I have nothing. And there's quotes in this, so Ford would have already put the kibosh on this thing. But this came out yesterday, and I've had to deal with some family issues over the past couple of days, so I haven't been able to get to this as fast as I like. But I wanted you guys to hear my opinion of it. What's your opinion? So comment below. Let me know what you think about this after we listen to the article, and we'll go from there. But the headline is Ford may slash ad spending, revamp dealers to boost EV profits, CEO says. Well, let's start from that right there, and we're going to work our way down. Why do you need to slash your ad spending? Well, Ford spends a lot of money on advertising. I think last year, and it says this in the article, was $3.1 billion they spent in advertising. Well, you're not just the leader of the truck line, truck sales for any reason. You put your brand in people's faces, and you let them know about it. Well, Tesla doesn't have to do that. Once again, in this article, we're going to read Tesla spent $0 in advertising last year. $0. So they really have no marketing team to per se. Tesla just sort of does what Tesla does, and they've gained this word of mouth kind of thing, and it's been very now profitable for the company the way they've done it. And some of these companies like Ford, and you're going to see if Ford does this, I'm telling you, GM and some of these others will jump right along. But let's get into this a little bit and go from there. So, June 1st, Reuters, Ford Motor Company needs to overhaul its century-old business model from slashing advertising spending to reworking its dealer network. If it is to earn enough profit on electric vehicles to compete with Tesla and others, the automaker chief executive said on Wednesday. Now, right there, from the get-go, they're saying, I've seen our current president talk about, GM's the leader of EVs, and you're like, GM don't even make really an EV yet. I do not consider the Hummer to be a real EV just yet. Like, yes, they're getting out there, but they're not to what the F-150 Lightning is about to do. So let's, I like how they're going after the top dog. Ford's going to admit that Tesla is the dog right now that we're chasing. So the shift from internal combustion engines to EVs is the most exciting land grab in our industry since the Model T introduced by Henry Ford in 1908, the CEO, Jim Farley, said in an Alliance Bernstein conference. Now, that is true. The EVs, we know is coming. Now, I think they've all put this number by 2030, which, if you think about it, it's 8 years away? That's not that far away a lot of these companies want to be completely EV. I don't see that happening. I don't see even the way California has their regulations. And for, years, California's regulations helped advance to where we are today, but now they're in another crazy land. And these are my opinions. Remember, these are my opinions. So let me know yours and, be cordial. Let me know your opinions down below. As competition shifts from the established players like Ford to newcomers from China and Silicon Valley, the industry is heading to a huge price war, Farley said. And that is true. I think, but the price war that we're really facing is the fact that they can't get the materials needed because the materials they need come from these countries that, practice business a little bit differently than the rest of the world. But as a result, Ford is reviewing nearly every aspect of its business just months ahead of Farley's restructured, if I could talk today, the company into 3 units: Ford Pro for commercial customers, Ford Blue for its profitable gasoline-powered trucks and SUVs, and Ford Model E for its electric vehicles. Now, they were calling this whatever E Plus, or I forget what it initially was called, but the fact of it is some of this is due to employees. Let's not remember Tesla doesn't have unions, and Tesla is very kind of anti-union. Now, whatever your opinion is on it, it's your opinion. Remember, it's none of us are exact in anything we talk about here, but I tend to lean more to let business kind of sort itself out, but there's a place for the union labor. Now, the problem with EVs and union labor is they do not need as much labor to assemble. That's just how it is. So Ford has to look at ways to, let's not separate ourselves from the UAW, but the UAW has we have to have a certain amount of employees. We got to have employees, and it's what feeds the UAW, and it also gives them strength in numbers to, when it's time to renegotiate, it gives them power in numbers. And if you keep losing numbers, you don't have the strength to negotiate anymore. So whatever your opinion is on that is what it is. But let's get back into this. Farley said, which I like this a lot, Farley said that Tesla, which was founded 100 years after Ford, enjoys a significant cost advantage right there. And that has convinced the Michigan-based automaker to consider reducing or eliminating dealer inventories of unsold vehicles and following Tesla in selling some directly to customers. They want to sell, trust me, it's not some. The writing's on the wall for dealerships. And if you work for a dealership, I know this is kind of tough news. And, if you like to buy, you're old school and like to buy from a dealership, and the art of negotiating, and if you feel you're getting a deal, or did they get you this time, that's going away. Because something the pandemic has told us right now is people will pay MSRP and not fuss about it. That's right. People will pay and not fuss about it. And some people will pay way over MSRP. Well, I don't have that kind of money, but if you need a brand new vehicle and times are the way they are right now, is what it is. But if you get rid of the inventory, you as a customer have little negotiating power to be able to haggle prices, because you can't go to the next dealer across the road. Or now with the internet, I could go to a dealer in California, and guess what? It all works out. They charge me my sales tax from my state. So there is no, dealers more than ever kind of have a tough situation, but they've kind of created this for themselves as well. But the golden side to this is Ford's still going to need dealers to either a point of sale to drop the vehicles off, sign the paperwork, something that Tesla does not have. It's ironic that Tesla would like to have this, but they don't have it. But the Ford dealerships have this, and they would like to go more the Tesla route. I'm sure there's a medium ground in there somewhere, and the way I think of it is it's a point of sale. That's it. You won't have a salesperson. You might have a representative from a company. They'll be called something different, I'm sure. But you will still have the back of house, and the back of house is where dealers make all their money. Yes, there's points they get on interest rates and all that, but all their big chunk of money comes from warranty work, or just people bringing their out of warranty cars into the dealers to fix them. And the thing too with warranty work on EVs, I don't see mom and pop shops being able to afford to jump into that right away. So Ford's going to have, or any of the manufacturers, going to have a stranglehold on this to allow them to kind of dominate fixing their vehicles. And of course, we all know with these, they're PCs basically. And guess what you can do? Lock them down. And Tesla has theirs locked down where you can barely do anything out of the ordinary to that vehicle. And I think Ford would like to have a chunk of that, because we're an app generation. Got apps all over this phone. Guess what? Oh, you want that extra horsepower? Well, we've got an app for that. For extra $2,000, which you can do right now on your credit card, you can have that. Amazon culture, we got to have it now, man. If I ordered a package right now and it's not on my doorstep by tonight or in the morning, I'm crying. So it's what's happened to us, and I think the pandemic has really shown that these companies can operate that way and go from there. But let's get to down here at the corner. Farley said he was not convinced that Ford needs to continue buying advertising for especially popular new vehicles like the F-150 Lightning. Now, that's a playbook right out of Tesla. Like I said in the beginning, Tesla doesn't advertise. They don't even have a marketing department. They word of mouth has made Tesla what they are, and other brands should. They laughed at Tesla the way they operated for a long time and was like, "Oh, you can't do business that way." But guess what? Tesla ignored them. They did business how they wanted to, and it's proven to be a pretty profitable company. No matter what part of the world they're in, they seem to be doing okay. Now, some of the kicker is it talks about the U.S. automaker spent $3.1 billion on advertising last year, according to the company's annual reports, compared to nothing from Tesla. Once again, nothing. And the end quote here, which was pretty cool. If you ever see Ford Motor Company doing a Super Bowl ad on our electric vehicles, sell the stock, he says. And there you go. So listen to the CEO, and if you see them doing any kind of advertising with their EVs, you better get rid of that, because they're PCs anymore, man. It's nothing but tech, and the performance is an electric motor. There's nothing for Ford to design about that. Guess what? Corporate's going to need less people too. If you have less to design, we're losing a lot of labor. So of course we got Ford Blue, the blue oval cities and all that stuff they're going to build for batteries. They will make it up somewhere to people, but days are numbered on how many employees you need to build a vehicle. So in the comments below, where are you at? Where do you stand with this? Are you excited about doing business more of the Tesla way, where you just order it and go from there? Or are you excited, like, I'm going to miss the days of being able to negotiate with the dealership? But did we really have any kind of negotiations? I think anymore it's just maybe your interest rate you can sort of negotiate depending on your credit score. So who knows? But I'm going to lay this out before we leave. Ford, if you made it this far, thank you for one. And Ford, smash that subscribe button for me. I would greatly appreciate that. But anyways, I really think the future of buying a vehicle is check marks. You have a Mustang, you check mark every option you want. And I think 9 out of 10 times people would spend over what they would normally spend for a vehicle if you could just literally check mark. Now, what does that do? You probably lose things like calling it a GT or, the 500s or whatever. You'll still have those options that you can only do if you get into that package. But I think if I ordered a basic, say, an EV, or a true EV car Mustang that might be coming in the next couple weeks, you let me pick the screen size. You let me do all that. Like, I'm buying these monitors that sit in front of me. Let me create the hardware is the tower. Your car is the tower, and let me add all the little individual options I want. I think 9 out of 10 times people would spend more money. In the comments, let me know what you think. So whether it be 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, or ordering a car to drive like they'd like us to do, this has been your All Terrain Nation, and we're out. Peace, everybody.